This is my house. And that's the river, about an acre away. Here's the river, which has already met the bank. And you can see that my neighbors are trying to cope in whatever way they can think of. This is about 4 houses down. Their yard is flooded. And the river's just swollen. And this is across the street. They put up a barrier of rocks, and some other people did some sandbagging. But basically, we're about an acre from my house. And it's all flat. It's all flat. The big problem right now with the flooding is that we don't know what level they're going to be raising the river to. Today, they raised it so that out of the Garrison Dam comes 56,000 cubic feet per second. And this is the level the water's gotten to today, and it's probably going to raise up more just from that one expansion of water coming out, because they say it takes a couple of hours, probably 20 hours to affect us. So these are some of my neighbors' houses you can see down there. They're creeping up just feet from the house, really. On Thursday, they're going to be raising Garrison Dam levels to 60,000 cubic feet per second, which will mean, I'm sure, that all of this land right here is flooded with water. In river levels, we're at 13.89 right now. My house will last until 16.5, and then we will get water on the first floor and the basement crawl space area. We think we lose road access at 15.5 or possibly 14.5. Nobody seems to remember from what happened 2 years ago. We do know right now that the water is coming. If the Garrison Dam goes above 60,000 cubic feet per second being released, we don't know what will happen, but we do know that at 18 feet, the river level will probably affect South Bismarck entirely, which would be things like the airport and Kirkwood Mall, numerous schools. It would be very bad, and we don't know how many cubic feet per second that is, because this isn't an exact science. Water follows the path of least resistance, and so we just don't know what's happening, other than the river is growing. I think the worst thing about the flooding is we just don't know what's going to happen. We don't know when we'll lose road access. We don't know if the county will evacuate us out. We don't know where we'll be staying. We don't know how long we'll be gone. There's a chance we won't be able to get back into our house next August when I need to go back up for school. We don't know what we'll need. We don't know what we'll lose. And so the unknown of this makes it really tough to prepare. And if you can't be prepared, then it's just sort of constant state of panic. My neighbors are all handling it differently. Some of them don't even really know what's going on, and others of them have resolutely stated that they are not leaving no matter what. We are basically just waiting to see what will happen. But once again, this is my house. I'd prefer it didn't flood. My dad says everything on the second story of our house will be okay, even if the bottom half of the house sits underwater for 4 months. I find this hard to believe, but we did brick the house 2 summers ago, and I think the brick should help keep the water out and support things. We are basically right now just trying to figure out a plan. Basically right now, we're in what I like to think of as stage 1 of evacuation. This is my family's crawl space. It goes in the bottom of my house because it's not, the water level here isn't deep enough for us to have a basement, so we have this. It's like 3.5 feet or something, and it goes all the way under the bottom of our house. And it was filled with stuff when we started moving things out yesterday. And by filled with stuff, I mean it all looked like that corner over there. Everything down here from old lawn furniture to childhood memories, which I am trying to move upstairs in these boxes. Of course, my parents are both helping me, but we also have a lot of junk down here, which has to get thrown away and sorted through, and so it's just taking a really long time for us to get this clean, and then we'll start worrying about the upper levels. Everything from the crawl space is being moved to the upper stories, and eventually a lot of the stuff in the bottom stories will be moved up here as well. Yeah, this is like Christmas and a lot of my kids' stuff. Did you go through the Beanie Baby phase? We had 3 kids going through it at once, so we have multiple copies of everything. Christmas, my sewing machine that I'll want. Right now, we're worried about running out of space in the upper stories because I think we've moved from, oh, we'll have to move out, to we're probably going to lose everything on the bottom story. The concept of total destruction is daunting, and it's not really something I want to consider. But if we have to, things are replaceable. My dorm stuff, my room, my bed, all replaceable. But the things that aren't, I hope we'll be smart enough to take with us. I'd hate to lose this room, but as long as a few key things in my family survive, we'll be okay. This is a road close by my house. You can get to my house one of two ways. There's another turnoff before you get to this point, and then you can turn right here. Originally, you could keep going past the road closed, obviously. And there was a boat dock with a little bit of a beach. The water's now come up all the way and covered the parking lot. Right here, what we are crossing is what I call the land bridge. The bay on both sides is full. Obviously, one side has more houses than the other, and these are quite wealthy houses. Senator Hoeven lives right over there. And so we're going to lose water access here. That's the road that is going to be blocking you off. There are only two ways into my neighborhood. This is being the closest and the main one that I drive 6 times a day. And this here will be some of the first to go with water, this road. On the other side is a golf course behind some public lands that there's a walking path through, and then the natural cottonwood forest that has been here since the time of Lewis and Clark. This right here, normally you can see a lot of sandbars, there's a lot of wildlife habitat right here, and right now you just see the cars driving by staring at my destruction. The water right here is only about 2 feet from the road, and so we will lose this. That's really beautiful. And I know that everyone says don't live on the river, this is what happens, but I almost think that this view every night makes it worth it.